Just getting some more information coming into us from that court at Avignon. We are hearing 20 years for Dominique Pelicot, which was the maximum sentence that could be handed down to him. So much relief, I'm sure, amongst those wanting to see strong verdicts coming out of that case today. Just in the last few moments announced that Dominique Pelicot will serve 20 years behind bars after being found guilty of rape and all the other charges against him as well at that court in Avignon. As we've been saying over the last half hour, we've also heard that 20 other defendants have been found guilty of charges, but in all there are 50 others, and we're waiting during the day. Individual cases will be announced one by one of exactly who has been found. We actually are just hearing as well that the court has convicted all the defendants in some way, so there will be no acquittals at all. So no acquittals at all, but we're waiting, as I say, to hear exactly what's happened on individual cases. Well, we can talk once again to Selina Sykes, who joins us from outside the court. Selina, bring us up to date then. I'm sure you may have more information than I have here in the studio on the latest situation.
So, Stuart, the presiding judge has just announced that Dominique Pelicot has been sentenced to that maximum sentence of 20 years for aggravated rape. The charges were earlier read out against him. He was found guilty of all the charges against him, starting with aggravated rape of his former wife, Gisele Pelicot, the attempted aggravated rape of a wife of one of the co-accused, Jean-Pierre Maréchal, and also taking indecent images of his own daughter, Caroline, as well as his two daughters-in-law. There was no emotion on the face of Dominique Pelicot as those charges were being read out. I didn't manage to catch his reaction as the sentence was read out. So that's a maximum of 20 years in prison for Dominique Pelicot after being found guilty of all the charges against him in the courtroom in Avignon. Doesn't come as a surprise. We're now hearing, of course, the rest of the sentences for the 50 men who stand on trial alongside him, which could take a little bit longer, but we'll be coming back to you, of course, with all the latest from here in the courtroom in Avignon.
Yeah, just briefly, Selina, I mean, just hearing in the last few seconds as well that the court has convicted all the defendants in the rape trial with no acquittals. You've been there during the week, sitting almost alongside some of these men. I mean, obviously the moment that they've waited for now has come, and those decisions have been handed down.
That's right, Stuart. Obviously, a tense atmosphere here beforehand. And as you said, I think something that has struck most people covering this case is the sheer proximity everyone involved in the trial has had to the defendants, because it's worth just bearing in mind that a third of them have been in police custody during this trial. But the other men have been free men, shall we say, during this trial. They've been allowed to lead their lives up until this moment. Obviously, now they have all been found guilty of the charges against them. That's either aggravated rape or sexual assault. As I mentioned earlier, there are lots of police here today, police inside the courtroom and outside here now, because obviously as these men are all now having their sentences, having all been found guilty of a charge to be handed down to them, the assumption is that the ones that have been free up till now will now go into immediate detention and be taken away by police.